Alright, guys, what's going on? First, apologies, I haven't had much stuff out the last week. For those of you who know, I had COVID. I'm finally feeling over it, even though I've been sleeping like crazy. So, at least I'm resting up. But I've been watching a handful of movies the last 2 nights, an Indian horror film and a few Indonesian horror films that those Indonesian ones I've seen before, and I'll probably do like full videos on them eventually. But this is about There's Something Wrong with the Children from this year. I think it came out like a month ago, a little over a month ago. I didn't know anything about this movie at all. Like usual, since I don't watch trailers. But usually I'll know like an idea of what a movie's about. I knew nothing about this, except that there's apparently children and there's something wrong with them, apparently. So, first thing going into this, I could say this right off the bat that this movie is going to be divisive. Like, for sure. I was engaged in this movie the entire time. Like, the entire movie, which was very surprising. But we basically have these two couples who go for like a weekend in the woods to these cabins. They're like two sets of cabins, like one here and one across from it. And one couple has two children, the other couple does not have any children, and they end up going for a hike one morning, and they come across this. They don't even really say what it is. They guess at what it could be, like an abandoned mine, or like it's like an abandoned building, like structure, is what it is. Doesn't really matter. But there's a pit in there that they all look down into this pit, and the kids end up getting into a trance, pretty much looking down there. And that's pretty much all I can say without ruining any of it, without spoilers. There's one of the characters in the couple that does not have children. He has some mental health issues. That's all I can really say about that. But the acting was pretty good in this. Like, there was a few scenes here and there that I felt like a few of the actors were trying a little too hard, but it was like few and far between, and it didn't take me out of the movie at all. The music in this and the sound design is phenomenal. Like, very, very good. And it actually reminded me of the movie The Empty Man, which is another movie from a few years ago, 2020, I want to say. It's one of my favorite movies of the 2010s, or, well, if it's 2020, whatever. Phenomenal movie. But that was another movie that was very, very split, and I feel like wasn't seen by hardly anybody, except for like real hardcore horror fans, because it was released in the middle of COVID, like right when COVID was like a huge thing. So it didn't get a big theatrical release, and then it just released straight to like HBO Max. But the music and the sound design, especially the music, reminded me a lot of that movie. The other movie this reminded me a decent amount of was Headcount from, I want to say, 2018, which is another movie that I feel is not talked about enough and was not seen enough. And the thing that this has in common, this movie, with those two movies, is that they were both very divisive movies also. So that's why I think this is going to be a very divisive film for people who watch this. But it's very, very interesting. Like, I was like pretty like tense like the whole movie, like just wondering what's going to happen next. And they did a good job with like portraying these two couples, and after some things that happen, one of the guys from the couple without kids starts noticing that something is wrong with the children. And they do a great job of making you believe what these characters, how they're acting, and that why they wouldn't believe this guy, because what he's saying is crazy. So it makes sense, and like the chemistry between the couples and the actors playing the couples were great. Like, very, very good, very believable. there's really not much negatives I can give this movie. Like, besides from the aforementioned, with the acting being a little iffy here and there, besides that, like, I fully enjoyed this movie. Like, totally engrossed in it the entire time. So, if you guys like mysterious horror movies, like, it's so hard to describe this without giving spoilers away, man. Like, yeah, if you like horror with a mystery to it, and that you're gonna keep guessing as the movie's going on what's gonna happen next, and is this person crazy, or are things actually going down the way that he's saying they are? This might be a movie you'd like. So I'd say just give it a chance, because I can definitely, like I said, see this movie being very, very split. I've seen some good reviews on it, I've seen some bad reviews on it. I had a channel I followed for years. He basically told me this was in his top horror films of the year so far, and that's what led me to watching it. So happy I did. Like, very, very fun, very, very tense, and very, very just engrossing the entire time. So there is something wrong with the children, apparently, going into this. So if you guys have seen it, let me know what you think. If you guys are planning on seeing it, definitely do. Definitely give it a shot, because I absolutely love this movie. So I'm going upstate tomorrow. I'm going to be with my daughter from tomorrow until like Wednesday. So I'm going to try to knock out the rest of the Final Destination series. And I know I still have Jigsaw and Spiral left from last month. There's not going to be a theme for like next month. I already decided on that. It's just going to be like a pre-spring cleaning month. And I'm just going to finish up the few franchises that I started the last few months and have like a few left. So that's basically where I'm going with that. But wherever you guys are from, hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, or night, and I will talk to you soon. Take care, guys.